Hi, my name is Iva, and this is my life change story. I grew up Catholic, baptized in the Catholic Church. I think I had a really close connection with God as a child. There was a death in the family that kind of initially pulled me away from God, made me question my faith a little bit. As I got into high school and as a young adult, I wanted to fit in. So I made decisions that I wasn't necessarily proud of. A lot of the decisions I made, I thought were going to bring more fun and freedom, and in reality, they pulled me away from my beliefs, and they brought a lot of guilt and shame. And then when I got married and started having kids, I definitely knew that I missed that side of myself. I wanted to have that connection with God that I had as a kid, and with Jesus, and I didn't know how to get back to that. I knew that I had messed up in a lot of ways, and I didn't necessarily believe that I was worthy of that anymore. Then I came to Grace River. My kids loved it, and that was important for me. I wanted them to have that, even though I didn't necessarily feel like I had that anymore. We were driving home from church one day, and my 8-year-old said, "Mom, do you know what grace means?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I know what grace is, you know." And he said, "Well, what is it?" And I didn't really have an immediate answer, so I kind of threw it back at him. "Well, why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me what grace is?" And he said, "It's when you get things that you don't necessarily deserve." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, like Jesus loves us even though we don't always do good things. That was a turning point for me. That was the leading decision to get baptized again. I was looking for a reason to really get closer to God, and I think that made us as a family kind of step back and realize that in our mess, in our poor choices, and that Jesus still wants us, that he still accepts us and still loves us for who we are, and the choices we made are just part of it. I thought religion was about perfection. It was about doing your best all the time, and if you failed, it was frowned upon. But now I understand that our decisions and the choices we make, and you can lay them all down at his feet, and he offers this incredible gift of grace that gives me hope and gives me peace and gives me connection again, that I missed for a really long time. So if you're looking for hope or peace this Christmas, you can find that in the grace of God.